So, welcome to the third call. This one is on bookings. Your first call was the virtual community training. Has anyone else set up their virtual community yet? Great. Anyone working on it? Getting close? Okay, great. Great. See you, Anna. Anyone have any questions real quickly about that? Ellen? Or Eileen, sorry.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find out where to put the topics. On Tammy's page, it showed up in a corner as listed as the topics, day, whatever she had.
Like where to find like suggestions for you to use, you mean? Or
no, she has certain things for certain days, and they show up in a section that said topics, and people would go to that and they click on it and follow what she was saying on those days. Does it just show up after you start a topic, or?
Yes, I am not positive, but I believe so. It kind of keeps track of things that you have talked about more than once, and it highlights the things that it knows you talk about most. And I think that's double check with your director to be sure.
Okay.
In a private message, but I think that they showed up. Facebook remembers what topics you have talked about, and we were able to pull those up. So.
Okay, thanks.
All right, great. Last week we talked about the virtual party experience. Has anyone done their outline? Or even better, has anyone actually scheduled their show and have one up and running yet?
I have some up and running.
Awesome. Great. Did you already have virtual shows going on before you started this training? Okay.
I did.
Right. Great. Yeah. Is there anyone who has not done a virtual show yet on the call? Okay, great. All right. So, all right, then we're just going to move on, and we're going to watch the recording for bookings. It's maybe 10 or 12 minutes long, and then there are some questions afterwards. I'm going to attempt to share the screen here. And let's see. Well,
you might want to mute everybody. I hear something.
Yeah, I can hear someone's radio or television. I'm not sure who that is. I might need to get Kathy back on here. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get this on here. Can you see this? Is it coming up?
Yes.
Our bookings training. All right.
Hey everyone, we are so excited to be joining you today to be sharing some success tips on bookings at virtual parties. I'm Jackie Houston. I'm a director from Ohio.
And I'm Lisa Pendleton, a director from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Wonderful. So we just want to share.
Sorry, don't know why it's buffering.
Top 10 tips to get bookings at virtual parties. Okay, so y'all ready? All right, number one of the first things that you want to do is create a list of who you want to reach out to for bookings. And just start thinking, guys, busy families maybe who need some easy recipes. Who loves pampered chef? Who loves to entertain? Who has a great big wish list? I am the queen of stalking Facebook. And if you don't do
what the heck happened?
We can't hear anything, Terry.
Terry, I think maybe if you hit
Did you mute?
You need to unmute yourself, I think.
I'm not getting anything here.
Terry, are you muted? If you unmute. Terry. In the bottom left corner, if you try unmute your screen. I can't, 'cause I don't have controls. Terry, we can't hear you either. We can't hear anything you're saying either because you're muted.
Okay, okay, sorry. Were you telling me to try to mute everybody? I couldn't hear what you were saying. You sound
I think your screen needs to be unmuted in order for us to hear on your screen share. And since
okay.
you were muted, we couldn't hear anything Jackie and Lisa were saying.
Oh, you can't hear anything they're saying?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think,
Where can I do that?
well, I think you cannot be muted. You have to be live and then just press play and we can hear.
Go ahead and press play now.
Yes. But
Hey everyone, we are so
Just don't
excited
mute your line, Terry.
to be sharing some on bookings at virtual parties. Jackie Houston, I'm a director from Ohio.
Anything in the background, if you could just mute
I'm
your
Lisa
line,
Pendleton,
everyone
a
but
director
Terry.
from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Okay, I paused it. Becky, say that again.
Somebody else had background noise, so if everyone else could mute except for you,
Okay.
then we'll be able to hear. Yep, that's all. No problem.
All right. I know I could hear something, but I couldn't tell which screen it was coming from.
I can't either. So here we go.
Wonderful. So we just want to share top 10 tips to get bookings at virtual parties. Okay, so y'all ready? All right, number one of the first things that you want to do is create a list of who you want to reach out to for bookings. And just start thinking, guys, busy families maybe who need some easy recipes. Who loves Pampered Chef? Who loves to entertain? Who has a great big wish list? I am the queen of stalking Facebook. And if you don't do that, it's a great idea. Get to know how you can solve problems for your friends, for your family. Who's getting married? You know, we do wedding registries. Who's moving into a new house? Maybe the kids that are playing sports and need fundraising money. The possibilities really are endless. So here's a quick idea. Rather than just posting a general post on Facebook, personally private message your friends. Another quick thing that I do is to go live in my community or go live on your Facebook wall. Do a quick product demo or a recipe. All you're doing is creating a desire and it's fun. So once you've done this, know the dates that you want to party. So when do you want to start your parties and when do you want to end your parties? And the next thing, guys, is just to ask. Don't prejudge. You're going to be really surprised who may want to book a show, and bookings really are everywhere. So number two, once you get the party dated, get the host excited for the virtual party. Host coaching really will be the key to your success. Set goals and help your host create a wish list. Share the booking incentive that they get a 50% off item at each party, and there's no limit to the number of 50% off items they can earn. Set a goal with your host to earn at least to get at least 3 friends to book a party, so their savings can continue for up to 6 months. So here's the quick idea. You can tell your host that she'll get an additional $10 to spend when we get 3 bookings. And so then you can ask her to think about which friends would love to get free PC too. And make sure you follow up at the very end to see who she's thought about. Number 3, build relationships with the guests right at the very start of the party. Be personable and relate to them. Get to know your guests before you just start selling with engagement posts. What are their kitchen dilemmas? Describe themselves in the kitchen in 3 words or less. Ask how they know the host. Things like that will get a conversation started. People will book because they like you, not just because of the party. Number 4, keep the party fun and interactive. Don't just make it all salesy and selling. You need to include games and engagement posts every day. And the theme parties are always a big hit. Pampered Chef has done a great job on Consultants Corner with marketing imagery, so make sure you check that out for the graphics. They've got amazing theme ideas, words to say in virtual parties. The virtual party packs are amazing. So if you've not checked those out, I encourage you to do so. But just keep in mind, you must do the experience training first for both in-party, in-person, and the virtual to get access to those, okay? And number 5, you need to be active in the party. So make sure you're active every day. Comment and tag your guests. If you use a scheduler such as SendShare or Post My Party, don't just schedule a post and never interact. Guests don't care what time you post each day. Just make sure you do what works for you. Encourage your host to be active daily too. This helps make the party more fun. Give out virtual tickets for participation in games and prize drawings. Keep your posts reasonable per day, and you're going to see some different ideas on Consultants Corner about the number of posts and things like that. So these first 5 posts are kind of just your introduction, everyday type posts, and now Lisa's going to share the next 5, and they're going to be more of the specific things that you can do within your party.
Hi. Okay. So number 6 is rotate between the types of posts. So product, tip, and recipe posts rotated with your booking and recruiting. So obviously we're focusing on booking here. If you're not posting about bookings, how do you expect to get bookings? So, and obviously the benefits are benefiting you, the consultant and the host and the potential host. So yes, so that sort of goes into number 7. Inform your guests of the host rewards. So there's so many different images on the party packs and online, or you could just use the original chart, which is online obviously, of our catalog with the different levels. And if you're not well versed and haven't been doing virtual parties for a long time and don't know your actual show average, just give like a ballpark and just point out the different levels of benefit for different levels of sales for the parties. Number 8, encourage your guests to make a wish list. So obviously we're encouraging our hosts to make a wish list and our guests in live parties, but this goes with them too. Encourage them to make a wish list of what they might like, so then what they have their eyes on. Number 9, this is going fast. On some of the booking posts, which we recommend 1 per day, have your hosts tag some of those friends you might be thinking of in some of those posts. Maybe a few guests at the same time, but not the same guests every single time, because that might borderline on harassment. So just have her, like, and you can obviously private message her what to say and what to comment on your posts in these booking posts, and in general, that's another really good general tip to tell her what to say and what to comment on. So obviously you're having your host involved, not just on the product and tip and recipe posts, but have her, comment and involved on these booking posts too, because that will really ramp up engagement and curiosity for people to book. And number 10, there's a specific image that I highly recommend that I have used, and it's very engaging, and Jackie and I will share the wording of this image, and you can just find it on Facebook. It's how much you love Pampered Chef, or how much you use it each day. And when they comment, it's a 1 through 5, and when they comment, you private message your guests who have commented on that image and ask them how involved they are, and do you want to get some items for free, and then ask them for a booking. So right now, obviously, this June, July, you're looking to book in July. Always end with a question. Say, do you want to hear the specials for June, or would July work better? What month would work better for you? So that's another huge tip, is like all of these private messages to guests always end with a question. And that's the 10.
Awesome. All right, guys. So there are 10 tips to really help increase bookings within your virtual parties. So now we have a challenge for you. And so our challenge is, what we want you to do is to make a contact list and to reach out to 10 new people in the next 2 days to book a party. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set a goal to contact 3 people per day, which is really 15 to 20 per week. And just kind of, when you sit down and you track them in a notebook, you guys, get a notebook, and then you know who you've reached out to, when was the last time you connected with them, when do you need to follow up. just remember that many people need to be asked at least 4 times before they say yes to booking a party. So just because they've said no the first time, don't scratch them off your list. But if you put them in a notebook, then you know when you can follow up with them again. So I hope these top 10 tips were helpful. Lisa and I enjoyed kind of working together to put this together for you. So we want to see you all be party rock stars and get lots of bookings within your virtual parties. So best of luck, and we will touch base soon. So take care, guys.
Okay. All right, lots of information. I liked how they made it 10, so you could just kind of know you were where you were at with that. They came up with some questions, so if you guys want to unmute, we'll have some discussion. First of all, were there any aha moments from listening to this segment? Anyone hear anything that jumped out at them and you know you're going to incorporate that right away?
They're doing more than just products. They're giving kitchen tips. They're giving ideas for other things other than just, they're keeping it interactive. And I think sometimes we get, at least I get tied up with just products. I do give kitchen tips and I do give recipes, but they're keeping it more interactive. I think that's good.
Right, and building the relationship so that someone wants to work with you, not just because they like the product.
Right.
Very good. Anyone else? I like the end when they said end everything with a question. I'm getting a lot of. You guys hear me? I'm echoing in my. Is that what I'm doing?
You are echoing, yes.
I think if everyone else except you, since you do have the feedback, and then just unmute when you want to talk and when someone else is talking, I think that will help a little bit. So I'll go ahead and unmute. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay. Okay. I thought when they said everything with a question, it was really helpful. Would you like June? Would you like or July? Not just I have this. I just thought you leave it where they have to answer you, not just keep it hanging. I thought that was good, just to end everything that you say with them with a question. And I'm assuming that's in private messaging, where you're going to be private messaging back and forth, and always leave it with a question that they have to answer, so they do need to reply to you. So I thought that was a very good tip. I heard that from Debbie Kimball a long time ago. She says she ends every text, every correspondence, anytime with a question, or even if it's just, how does that sound to you? Then the only thing they can actually do is respond, because you've left it there. So I like that. Anyone else have an aha moment?
I didn't necessarily have an aha moment, but I have, in my most recent virtual party, I've been using those YouTube videos, product videos, and I will ask a question at the end of that. Which product, are you most intrigued by, or something like that? And that got a lot of engagement as well.
I think those engaged posts are really key. A lot of times it can be as simple as, is this hot or not? If you would like it in your kitchen, comment hot. If not, comment not. Or hot or cold, or just even being simple. But a lot of those engagement posts are what creates your future bookings. And so even then it gives you things that you can comment on, private messaging those people and saying, hey, I saw that you think that grilled pan is hot, or whatever it is. What do you think about getting some of your friends together for a fun time, or whatever. But I think the more, Kristen Wyranga, who is the new virtual executive director that promoted, said every post is an engaging post. Every post she makes is engaging somehow for people to comment, ends with a question of some sort. I'm in the mute, Terry, and turn it back over to you.
Okay, yeah, the engaging any success I've had in my virtual shows so far has been something with some form of a question that engaged them. And then that starts the conversation, and then it just starts growing and growing, and people comment. But back to what Carolyn was saying, it is so true. If you just keep posting all these products, as which I started out doing that because I thought I needed to show them everything. And if you think of your kitchen shows, you don't bring every single tool and show every single tool. You show a few things, and then you build relationships, and you talk to the people, and you learn about them. And I don't know why I thought it was any different in a virtual show, but it's, you know, a little. I'm going to do fewer products and more engagement. Another tip that I heard was get the guests to share a wish list, not just your host. So I thought that was a great idea. Maybe even an engaging post, you know, tell me your top 3 things on your wish list. And then you've got a whole variety of responses from a variety of people with lots of products that you could even offer specials on and stuff like that. So, all right, next question. Which tip have you found success with, and what were the results? So have you tried any of the things that they mentioned, or have you tried something yourself that you have found a good result with? Anyone want to share?
One thing that I've had good results with is asking people to comment with a GIF, a GIF, you know, a GIF on something. So even if it could be describe what you ate for dinner last night using only a GIF, or describe yourself in the kitchen using a GIF, or describe your favorite recipe using a GIF, anything. But they have to find those, and some of the funniest things they find, and it just kind of is a great icebreaker to get people communicating. And if I have found with my most successful virtual party was about 1,400. And what I remember of that one and have mimicked is that those first day and a half or 2, everything was interactive. And so with people interacting, then it kind of just kicked off the rest. And a lot of that is getting the host involved too. And that did end up with 3 bookings as well. So I think that getting the interaction going early is key. That would be a tip I would share.
Yeah, I agree, Becky, that the interacting, and I think another way that I have found to get people to interact is ask them something about the host. Because, you know, how do you know the host? Name a word that describes your host. You know, how did you meet your host? Just something, because they like their friend. They're not going to leave you hanging. I feel like they, you know, if you make it about the host, they want to interact possibly more than just interacting with you. That's their friend. So that's been a tip that I have used that has helped as well.
For me, I really make it all about the guests too, because I'll ask engaging I don't know why I said persons, engaging questions like, what do you like to eat for breakfast? And then I will post, you know, like if they say bacon, I'm going to show them lots of different ways they can cook bacon that day. Or if they said eggs, I'll say, oh my gosh, we have got, you know, this for you, and you're going to love this. And then even later in the party, I'll share things like that. Or I'll have them share what their favorite product is, and then I'll post that product with lots of recipes to go with it for them. I'm really trying to make it be more about the guests and be a little more customized to that particular host and that set of guests. That way, even if I use the same basic template, they're not all the same. All my parties aren't the same.
Great, Liz. You know, I have found that if I treat my virtual show very similar to the way I treat my live shows, for those of us who have, you know, been trying to transition over, it really helps me remember what to do. Because at a live show, if someone asks me about, you know, making something with bacon, like what Liz was saying,
right, I'm
not going to just go on and ignore them and keep talking about other products. And that's sometimes what my virtual shows were doing, especially, you know, with the auto posting. It would just come up with the next post, and if I wasn't there interacting and actually, you know, commenting and responding to the questions people have, you know, that would never happen at a live show. You're going to always interact and do what the guest bring on at a live show. That's why every live show is different. Well, that's like Liz said, every virtual show is different too, depending on what the people talk about and ask, and then where you go with the comments that they make, and then you keep commenting, and the show just kind of takes on the life of its own based on what the people are interested in. So I think I'm going to take a little more product post out and plan to put more interacting with just, you know, asking questions about what interests them, not just what products I want to force down their Facebook page. So anyone have a tip that they're going to implement right away, like something they're going to do different? I've just shared mine. I'm going to pull out a few of my product posts, and I'm going to maybe add a couple more interactive questions. Anybody else have something that they're planning to implement as a result of what you've already heard just tonight?
More engaging posts and getting the guests to make their wish lists.
Can I just suggest, since people aren't jumping in, that if you don't have something to do that you really can put your finger on, then try to get to know your guests. Anyone that's commenting, private message with them and just say, hey, I saw you had a great tip, or, you know, try to get to know them before you even invite them to have a party or become a consultant. And most of that happens through private messaging with them. So you can't friend all of them at the beginning, but you will want to start friending the ones that are commenting quite a bit so they can see your messaging. And that'll come, because if they are commenting and you're getting the interaction, then you can say, oh my gosh, that's so funny, thanks for sharing, or good tip, or, you know, just have fun. Let yourself be you. Do you. Be you. And then on the side, you can say, you know, I really meant that was hysterical. I love your comedy or whatever, or your tip or whatever it was. Have you ever thought about, you know, doing what I do and earning money from your computer? I mean, but that's going to be way more natural if you've commented on their comments and you've had some interaction and you've messaged with them about thanks for their comment and had that. So I just want to encourage you to get to know your guests if that's not something that you've been doing. But let's hear from a couple more people. Carrie, what else are you going to try this week to get more bookings from virtual parties?
Becky, I just want to ditto what you said about the private messaging, though. That's a newer concept for me too. I've done it in my last 2 shows, and that's been huge, you know, because you can have that private, it's like having that private conversation over to the side at one of your regular shows. You know, not everybody's listening to everything you say, but the person you connect with, it's important to kind of, some of it's going to be on the page that everybody sees, and then some of it is going to be private.
That's exactly right, Carrie. And they have to, when you friend the person, then they're much more likely to see a private message. Or like today, someone said, what's the July host bonus on one of my parties? So I said, oh, it's great. You get to pick your own sale. I'll private message you the details. And then I friended her. So I didn't post the flyer. I'm not going to post the flyer in the party and just say, here it is. I want to be able to have that private conversation. So I answered a question, but I did the details. I did the details in private.
Hey guys, it's Kathy. Another idea is you can create a Google form, because you might be able to get a booking from somebody who's they might not be real engaging, but it's kind of those people that are kind of in the background and they want to do something, and maybe they're not going to buy anything because they just can't afford it right now, but they want to have a show to get things for free. So even creating a little Google form as kind of a, hey, you know, just a last chance just to make sure you get one more entry into our drawing, fill out this form and keep your, just keep the Google form really simple. So.
That's a great point, Kathy, because there are those people who never say a word, yet you know they're there and they've been watching, and all of a sudden they put in an order. So, and they might come in on those Google surveys that we put out. So any questions about what you heard? I want to go back to Jackie's assignment that she gave there at the end, because I think it's really, really important for everyone to take heed to her instructions, because this doesn't just work for virtual, it's for all of our business. Okay, I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is my notebook. I was cleaning out stuff. This is from 2016. So I have several notebooks, and you probably can't see, but basically it's just one of these, you know, any notebook, but just a spiral. And I just write down a date, and I just put down a name and their phone number, and I call them. And Jackie's challenge was the next 2 days, set a goal to contact 10 people, 10 new people in the next 2 days. I know you can all do that. That's, just put your mind to it, and, you know, pretend like we're going to call you on Wednesday morning and check in with you. And if you knew we were calling you on Wednesday morning and you have to stay up all night, Tuesday, do it. I don't know what it is, but just make yourself do it. You can do 10 contacts in the next 2 days, but really keep a notebook like this, and you can look at it and realize, oh, I had a whole day go by and I didn't do any contacts. Oops. Sometimes I know we think we do a lot more with our business than we really do. And having a notebook like that and documenting and writing them down, first of all, it helps you keep track to know whether you have been working your business and making those contacts like you need to. But also, 5 or 6 days from now, you can look back at what you did on Monday, and you can look at that person that you didn't get a hold of, and then you'll know, oh, you know what, I ought to try them again. There was no answer, but I really connected with them last month at so-and-so show. I need to follow up. I mean, it might just be me, but I think we're all kind of alike. We think we're going to follow up with people, but if you don't strategically make a plan to do it, we don't always make those contacts like we know we should. So I would challenge you, if you don't, how many of you already do have a contact notebook? Awesome. I see yours, Anna. Yeah, great. How many of you have used it within the past 3 days? Awesome. All right. How many of you have one and you're like, oh yeah, it's somewhere. I don't know. Do we want to admit? Yeah. I use mine when I need to. Sometimes, you know, if things are on a roll, you're doing good. But their challenge was 10 contacts in the next 2 days, but really set a goal to do 3 a day every week. So give yourself a couple days off if you would like, but try to make at least 15 contacts every single week, and then look back at those contacts. See who you need to follow up with. See who you told you would call back. Make sure you do it. You know, there's nothing worse than saying, I'll call you in 2 weeks, and then you forget to call them in 2 weeks. So it's just good business practice to follow up with what you say you're going to do. So, does anyone have any other questions? I can't see my time. I think we still got.
I have one quick question. On number 10, she mentioned an image, but I couldn't really, she was cutting in and out, so I couldn't tell what she was talking about. Do you know what that was? It was something about how much do you use your Pampered Chef or something like that?
Yes. I think what she is talking about, Becky and Kathy, you can check me on this.